Shoreline property is some of those precious property we have in our society. People move out, it's very restful. You have the water lapping on the shoreline throughout the night, throughout the day, and so on. Bring out our boats. But one thing that we find more and more along the shorelines are people putting up shoreline lighting. And perhaps one reason is so that if they go out for a walk, they don't fall into the water. But when you're out and about at night, especially when you don't have any lights on, it's easy to see the difference between the shoreline and the water. You don't really need those lights. So in some respects, they're there for show. It delineates one's property, one's domain. But those lights also shine into the water column. And now let's step back a little bit. What likes light? Well, plants like light. And plants grow, the more light there is, the plants grow more. So here, throughout the day, the plants are growing in the shallow areas near the shoreline. But if you leave lights on throughout the night, it grows throughout the night as well. So you end up having increased amount of foliage or water plants growing just off your shoreline, which then people get annoyed with and they try to chop off and then it floats away. But normally this algae in these plants, especially the algae, is consumed by zooplankton, which are very small creatures in the water column. But zooplankton are very small, they're very sensitive to light because they're eaten by the small fish. So they like the anonymity of darkness as well. So during the daytime they sink down into the deeper waters. Then at night when it gets darker, it rises up, eats the algae, and then at sunrise it then descends again. Well, if you have shoreline lighting, it scares them away. They don't surface anymore to consume those plants near the surface, and you end up getting more vegetation growing and more skunky type of water. One reason why it gets skunky is because algae only lives for a certain period of time, then it dies and then it rots, and the toxic products of the rotting vegetation then contaminates the water column. So in some cases these algae blooms can in part be attributed to shoreline lighting. So if you do have shoreline property, don't leave your lights on all at night. Maybe into the evening if you're partaking on your property at night in the evening, but don't leave them on all night, because that permanently, if you leave them on all the time, it will permanently change the water column just in front of your property.